Welcome back to Lucore Automotive Services. Today we are getting closer to finishing our Code 504 project. So I've been whittling away at little things. Basically every day or two I'm picking a task and I'm trying to get it completed. I still have a few things left to do, but we're getting really close to finishing up this project. Don't be fooled, there is a lot of work involved with doing this frame swap, but it is worth it when you are done. Definitely worth it. When this vehicle came to us, it had a front roll pan on it. No bumper, no splash pan, just a roll pan to fill in this area where the bumper would normally go. With this frame swap, the frame protrudes out into that area. You can cut it off and run a front splash pan, but it's more work than I wanted to do, and I wanted to show off the Code 504 bumper brackets. So since we didn't have a splash pan or a front bumper, I called up LMC Truck, ordered a chrome splash pan and a deluxe chrome front bumper. So I'm going to get those stuck on here, and I think it'll really give a little bit of pop to the front of the car. It'll look good, give it a little chrome to tie in with the headlights, and just give it a little flair. So with that, we're going to start putting the front bumper on. We'll get that put together, and then it's time to drop the bed down onto this car so that I can finish my tailpipes and start making adjustments for my transmission. Thanks for watching. Click like, subscribe, leave us a comment. We enjoy fixing these old cars, and it's time to wrap this one up. Thanks for watching. This one actually bolts into the bumper mounting bolts. I was expecting it to bolt to the bottom of the front grille, but that is actually easier to install than I thought. Yeah, it's gonna look nice. That's going to make the truck look really good. Now I'm going to go ahead and hang my Code 504 bumper brackets, and then I'll get this bumper hung up there. So the splash pan on this bolt didn't fit real well. I'm just going to have to live with it because there's nothing I can really do to adjust it, especially since it's chrome. I like the parts. The bumper looks great. It'll look really good once we polish it up. The splash pan finishes it off really nicely inside. If I was painting the car, I would do a body colored splash pan, but since I didn't want to go back and repaint stuff to try and match up the paint that's on this truck, I decided to use the chrome front splash pan, and all in all, it's a nice piece. I like it. So we'll tighten his last couple bolts down. I need a couple more spacers on this bolt because when I tightened this down before, it kind of sucked the center of the bumper in, and I didn't like the look of that. So finish tightening this thing up, add a couple more shims to it. Front bumper will be on. I'm going to move towards dropping the bed down on this thing. Of cool stuff. And I was trying to make things align and came to the realization that the bed is over an inch out of square. Now that creates a unique problem in making your body line up to your bed through the running boards, because you're going to have an inch gap on one side and no gap on the other side. So I'm probably going to have to take this bed at least loose, maybe all the way back apart, square it back up, and then put it all back together. Frustrating, because that wasn't something I was expecting to have to do, but the bed is clearly over an inch out of square, and that's just not acceptable. I mean, like 1/8 of an inch, yeah, less than 1/8 of an inch would be great. Oh well, get to work. You can actually see a tight gap here and a wide gap here, tight gap here and a wide gap here, tight, wide, all the way across. And then on the other side, it's the opposite. So the whole bed is actually like that. So I have to shift this frame, this bedside forward and that bedside back to bring them into square. Off we go. So I spent a little time, I loosened up all my bed strip bolts, and I got it within about 3/8 of an inch. I'm going to try and get it that last 3/8 of an inch to get this thing into square. I'm just going to keep wiggling and moving. I actually have loosened up the outer strips as well, and I can actually physically see the stripes on where the wood meets the back rail, how much better this fits. You can see along here, my gap here is still tight and still wide, but it's way better than it was before. And all the way across here, it's much, much better. I didn't think to take a picture of that before I started, but when this is all said and done, they should be nice and square, and hopefully everything will fit. I'm going to pull these tires off because I have to do the wheel cylinders because the bleeders won't break open. Get them out of my way so I can weld my exhaust tips on, and then wire up my fuel pump And I'm almost ready to maybe see if this thing will run on its own. This one. I suppose if I was smart, I would have done those when I did the brakes. Oh well. We got some new ones. Cylinders. Number 5 cylinder's dead. Number 7's not looking real hot. I might have those two switch. Number 8's cold. So I had a problem with the misfire in number 5 and number 8, and then I realized that this engine used to have a CH350 behind it, which uses a vacuum modulator. So a vacuum cap will fix my misfires. Because I forgot to cap that guy off. So now let's see how she runs. Well, that's pretty exciting progress. We got it onto the alignment rack, we got it aligned, and now we got it back in the lift, because when I pulled it on the alignment rack, my brakes weren't bled as well as I would like them to be. So we're going to rebleed the brakes and start going through the list we end up figuring out as to all the other little things we still need to do to this truck to get it ready to give back to the customer. I still have to dial in my transmission control module. I have some wiring for that to do. I still have to do some minor adjustments to the cab. I have some adjustments to the fuel pressure. I have all sorts of little things yet to do, but that's part of the process in building one of these vehicles. It takes a lot of time to dial in the little things, and that's what makes the vehicle that much more enjoyable when you're all done with it. So with that, we are at a point where I'm going to go home because it's Friday night. I just spent a few hours working on this truck. It's time to go get some rest. I'll be back here in the morning working on this thing again. Whittle away at my punch-out list that I'll go through and figure out what all I need to do tomorrow. We appreciate you coming along for the ride with us on this Code 504 frame swap build. It's been a pretty good learning experience for me. Hopefully you guys have picked up some things from me while I've done this build that will help you do this job better. Please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment below. We'd love to interact with you in the comments. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you got one of these in your garage, get out there and keep working at it. It's not going to fix itself. You guys have a great day.